Assalamu alaikum. I'm here to give you my top 10 games which I'm anticipating from Gen Con 2022. Now, Gen Con is being closely contested by after which Ascent Spiel is going to come, which is going to be even a bigger event. So do expect another video in which I'm going to be telling about my more expected games or anticipated games from Ascent Spiel. But let's focus on Gen Con right now because Gen Con is the biggest gaming event that happens within the US. Many new games get to be shown off, and many games which were maybe announced by name, and sometimes even new announcements come during the Gen Con event as well. So I'm going to be more focused on the games that were not previously available and are going to become available either on Gen Con or at least the information is going to become available. Some of these games may become available for purchase even. So I'm not differentiating between which games are will be available as just an announcement and which games will be available for purchase. My overall objective is that what are the games that they will be showing which I'm eagerly awaiting. Now, that does mean that those games which are already available on retail for purchase, those are for surely not in this list because those are no longer anticipated. If I want, or if you want, you can go to the market and get them right now. Or these don't include the Kickstarter ones as well because the only place to get them is Kickstarter. Gen Con is not for that. Gen Con is for the retail games that are going to be available for mass public. So with that information, please do understand this list is limited to those games which are near future going to become available for purchase. And that's why these are my anticipated games. Now, as always, my top 10 list is never complete without having some kind of honorable mention. So the first honorable mention is kind of a sad honorable mention, and that is going to be San Francisco by Rainer Knizia. Now, there are too many games by the name of San Francisco. But why this is a sad honorable mention? Because I was really hyped for this game, and maybe it would have been number 7 or number 6 on my top 10 list, but now it has fallen because just before making this video, I was checking and there have been some early news or early reviews of other non-English editions of some people who have got the chance to actually play this game out. They found it a good game, but nothing out of the ordinary. And that saddened me because the game looked beautiful. And that's really a shame because Rainer Knizia never does these kind of games where there are huge mechanics, where there is huge city building, where there is much more than maths involved. So this was a city building game and city line tiling games by cards, in which you will be building routes as well as there were beautiful 3D elements of building. So it looked gorgeous, but sadly the reviews are just okay. So that's why it's an honorable mention. I still think it looks stunning, but sadly, maybe not that much anticipated anymore. The next one is going to be Diamond Dig from L&R Moon. Yes, the same L&R Moon who made Ticket to Ride. Diamond Dig is actually going to be a kind of a sequel, spiritual sequel to Diamond or Ink and Gold, which are the pure classic push your luck games that you are going inside a cave with a team. You will reveal cards and those will be different treasure. So you have a choice. Do you want to pick up this treasure and go out, or do you want to still push your luck and go further? But if you bust, then you might not come out. So it's a game of chicken that which players actually think they are done and might come out, and which players want to test their luck and go ahead. So Ink and Gold or Diamond have been there for a very long time. I personally don't own those games, and that's why I'm interested in seeing, because these are very pure and very simple game. I'm interested to see what a sequel or a spiritual successor, which is going to be Diamond Dig, can bring to the table, what new mechanics. A slightly more gamerified version I'm looking for, which has a little bit more than just either I'm coming out or I'm going in. A little bit more I need, and I'm hoping Diamond Dig is going to be that. But as of now, there is not much news. So Gen Con is going to be the place where more information about this game is going to be revealed. And only then I can tell whether it does make my top 10 or not. And that's why for now it's on my honorable mention. Now, with those honorable mentions out of the way, let's go to my actual top 10 list of most anticipated games from Gen Con 2022. On number 10 is going to be Weirdwood Manor. Now, this is a web series based on which a board game is being made, in which you are now responsible for caretaking a manor, but this manor is now being in the absence of the lady of the manor, and this manor is being attacked by different fantastical creatures, a fey monster, a crab monster, those kind of things. And you have to actually protect this manor. It's a cooperative game, but it will have some rotating board elements, that the room connections as the time moves, as the players take action. The time moves, which is represented by two dials in the center of the board, which changes the room connections, so you can use that mechanic in your favor, as well as it can go against you as well. So the mechanics seem kind of cool, but you're trying to actually use your player abilities as well as room abilities to fight these oncoming slot of monsters and protect the manor in that way. So let's see how that game actually works out. But the themes kind of make me feels like Castle Panic with a little bit more of movement in the board. So that's why I'm interested in it. Weirdwood Manor. I don't know why I cannot pronounce that. Weirdwood Manor. On number 9 is going to be Wormholes. So this game, Wormholes, is going to be available for purchase. Wormhole is now slowly, I think, now just becoming available for retail. Gen Con will be the first one from which it will become publicly available for retail. And it is made from the same designer as Tiny Towns, being published by AEG. AEG always picks really good games. Wormhole is a pick up and deliver game set in space, as you can guess by the name. But the really cool thing about this pick up and deliver, because many gamers will think, oh, pick up and deliver, I'm not interested because it's too simple a mechanism for them. But in this one, you will reveal cards, you will get different kind of passengers, cargo that you have to deliver to different planets, which are made on these modular boards. The modular boards are made up of similar kind of thing as El Dorado, these hexagonal kind of patterns. And then what you get to do is, once you have selected that, okay, I will take the passengers to this planet, not only you can move up to that planet, but also you can create wormholes. And once you create a wormhole, you can actually, initially your movement is very restricted, but once you create wormhole, travel to a long away distance, you can create another outlet of the wormhole as well. So using those kind of wormholes, you can warp in and out and kind of make your movement faster. So as you move along the game, or the game progresses, more and more wormholes of your and other players are going to become more and more available. You can even use the wormholes of other players by paying them a cost, and in that way the game becomes really fast and the ramp up is really good. So that's why I'm more interested in wormholes. So that's number 9. On number 8 is going to be Fit to Print. Well, beautiful artwork coming from, I think Kino Tool is doing the artwork for this one. It looks gorgeous. No components have been revealed, and that we will get to see at Gen Con. But it's going to be a real-time tile placement game. The theme is going to be that newspaper has to be published. You have limited time left, so that's why it's real time. So everyone is hurriedly in that timer actually trying to put up different tiles to make up one newspaper that is going to be fit to print. What that means is you will be placing photographs, some news headline, some advertisement, and there might be points criteria that, okay, your newspaper front page has to have these kind of criterias, advertisement should be below this and that. That's my assumption, that you will have these matching criteria. So as soon as any player is able to achieve those, or as many as he wants the criteria, he can say print. As soon as he says print, everyone has to stop, and at that time your newspaper has to go to print, because the time is over. If you don't print, your newspaper will not reach the public, and at that time your score will be counted. So it's going to be a little bit frantic, real-time fun game, tile laying game called Fit to Print. On number 7 is going to be Clank Catacombs. Now, if you have seen my previous one of the anticipated videos about UK Games Expo, then I had mentioned that this would be my number one anticipated game for Gen Con, but it was not being shown at UK Game Expo, so that's why I couldn't account for it. But I was hoping it would be released at Gen Con, and at that time it would be my number one. But sadly, it's not number one, because one of the caveats that I didn't mention was that I'm hoping that it would be a Clank legacy game, like in the series of Acquisitions Incorporated. So Clank Catacombs is not that. It's not a legacy game. What they have done instead is, and that's why I'm still anticipating it now, it's still lower than that, but why it still feels like a fresh take on Clank, especially if you have not played Clank before, because or you have gone tired of your previous board. Because in this one, gone is the fixed static board where everything is same all the time. Now these are modular tiles, similar to kind Escape, Curse of the Temple, that there will be these face down tiles and you can flip them over and then reveal that what pathways are going to be formed there. So every time you start, you will be shuffling these tiles and opening new tiles as you explore the catacombs. So every time you will get slowly explore these tiles and find out new pathways, new patterns, new map is going to get explored. So that's one of the first new things, that now it's an ever evolving new map every time you play. Then there are going to be, of course, new features on these maps. These can be different kind of portals that let you teleport from one place to other. There will be ghosts that get to scare you off. Things like that are going to be there on the board. Plus, there is a whole new deck of cards which can be played with the original Fantasy Clank, as well as you can use this as an expansion, at least the cards. Use this as an expansion or bring those cards to this Clank Catacombs as well. So that option is still there. So that's number 7, Clank Catacombs. On number 6 is going to be Peter Pan. Up till now, very little information is available or was available for Peter Pan game. We knew a new Peter Pan game was being worked out by the same developers who made the Treasure Island game, and this is going to be in the same line as the Treasure Island game, that is one against all. So one player will be playing as Hook, who has kidnapped the Lost Boys, and Peter Pan and the rest of the team, Wendy and other Lost Boys, are trying to help and find those Lost Boys without getting captured by Hook. Now, it's going to have same kind of mechanism which was in Treasure Island, that you will be using marker on the board to actually mark which locations you are trying to search. But the only problem with Treasure Island was that it was very open. It could be 1 pixel away and the hidden traitor player can say, no, you have not reached that location. But now it uses templates, plus it has bigger circles, so you have a little bit more structure to the game. The beautiful board looks beautiful, and with that little bit structure of using templates and other things, you can have more control of where the hidden children can be hidden and how you can perform the searches. So that's going to elevate from the Treasure Island theme to a Peter Pan theme where you're trying to save. So looks gorgeous. Number 6, Peter Pan. On number 5 is going to be Tabriz. Not much, again, information or even a picture is available, but at Gen Con more information and the pictures are going to be released for Tabriz. But at least from the description, it feels to me that it's going to borrow its mechanism from Yokohama or Istanbul, where you have worker movement along the board. So the theme is a Persian market theme, which is going to be similar to Istanbul. So is it going to be Istanbul 2.0? We have to see and find out, but the artwork looks gorgeous. But you will be using your worker movement to actually calculate and find that how far your worker can go and use that tile action, go in the market, do different kind of trading. So it's a pure trading and income type of game using the worker movement mechanic, which is similar to Istanbul. But what sets it apart? Let's find out at Gen Con. So that's number 5, the breeze. On number 4 is going to be the Turing Machine or Turing Machine. This is based on the Alan Turing. So if you have watched the movie or read the book, The Imitation Game, the Turing machines, which were invented to actually code the World War II crack, the early inventions of the computers, this is based on that. So you have to crack different kind of codes in this one, and there is going to be around millions of 7 million plus codes, and more can be generated using the mechanism in this one. So it's going to have punch board envelopes and 3 color coded numbers, and you can ask any kind of question so to figure out what the number is going to be. So if you can say, okay, I think the number in the purple space is going to be an even number, you can take that question, put it in that envelope with the punching holes. If you see a tick mark, then that means yes, whatever question you're asking is correct, it matches, so it is an even number. But if you see an X or red, then that means no, it's not even, so it must be odd. So in this way you can ask different kind of questions and find out and deduct what kind of number is going to be here. Is the yellow number less than the green number or greater than the green number? These kind of logical questions you will ask, and or cards you will place in different envelopes, and it will give you answers for that. And in this way you have to crack the code, and that's Turing Machine. So it feels like a new take on logic deduction games, and I'm really excited for it. That's the Turing Machine on number 4. On number 3 is going to be Lacrimosa. No information about it, but just the theme and the cover is absolutely beautiful. Lacrimosa is going to be about the life of Mozart. Yes, the famous musician. Now, the game is about card management, multi-use cards, but you will be playing in 2 different timelines. One timeline is when Mozart was alive, and you are using these cards to actually having a kind of an economy, having money enough to actually send Mozart to different concerts, helping him become a popular musician. And after his death, the other timeline, you are trying to help his wife to actually grow his popularity even after his death, so that you can have your pause in his name, your name attached with Mozart, that he was the patron of his music, and he's the guy who actually brought Mozart's music to the public, to the masses, and that kind of theme is there. So whether you will be using those cards later or in one timeline or the other, for what purpose you are using, do you need income, do you need to plan events? Again, I might be making some of this stuff up because there is no picture, there is no game board shown, there are no cards shown, but at least that's the idea that I'm getting from the description that's provided on BGT, the limited description that's provided on BGT. The fantastic thing why it made it to my number 3 is, of course, the theme of this. There are not many music themed games, and this one with the 2 timelines, oh my god. I'm just fascinated what Devere can do with this theme. So that's my number 3, Lacrimosa. On number 2 is going to be Legends of Andor Eternal Code. Eternal Code is going to be the 4th installment of Legends of Andor, one of my favorite games of all time. So I'm super pumped, super excited about a new game in the Legends of Andor series. Michael Menzel has made such fantastic games in Legends of Andor. These are puzzly adventure games. I just hope that they support more than German language, English language as well, because his games support too much custom content made by players as well. But mostly these custom content they publish on their German website, but never on their English website. Their English website doesn't even recognize that you can make custom content as well, and which is a sad thing, because these games have too much life if they allow or promote their custom content creation. But anyway, with that aside, in the Eternal Cold, you will be going to a winter frozen tundra and trying to find out what has caused this eternal cold, trying to solve 4 scenarios which I think are going to come with the game. But as we all know, or those who have played these games, these 4 scenarios will have a lot of replayability within these, because he does always add a lot of different randomness within each scenario. So every time you play, few events might be different, which can cause randomness and allow you more replayability through those missions. So that's my number two, Legends of Andor Eternal Cold, a puzzly adventure game in which you will be trying to find out what is causing the cold, whether you should be fighting, managing your time, and doing adventure puzzle things. Super lovely. Our number one is going to be 3000 Scoundrels from Unexpected Games. Now, Unexpected Games is a new company from Corey Kaniska, and I actually am super excited about anything that comes out of Unexpected Games. The initiative is, I love Initiative, even though it didn't get that much rave reviews from anyone else, but I think it was superb. It broke the mold out of your typical kind of games. Same was with his other games, but 3000 Scoundrels is going to be a Western sci-fi themed. So maybe you have traveled back in time with scientific discoveries with you, and now you are putting them in the Western world. But why the name 3000 Scoundrels? Because there are going to be a lot of characters available in this, which you are going to make your own posse, but each of these characters can have a sleeve which is going to change its abilities. So it's going to be a bunch of sleeves and a bunch of cards, and randomly, or again pre-planned, you can actually put them in a sleeve and they will have different kind of abilities. So around 3000 combinations are going to be available. At least that's what I think the name 3000 Scoundrels come from. It's going to be a Western themed game. There is going to be some bluffing, some dueling. Again, it's going to be revealed at Gen Con, and I'm going to be more and more information is promised in the coming weeks. So I'll be super excited to find out about this. But with the pedigree that Unexpected Games has, this has made my number one most anticipated game of 2022, which is going to be released at Gen Con. 3000 Scoundrels from Unexpected Games. So that's it. My top 9 most anticipated games of being announced or being revealed, being made available to public at Gen Con 2022. Now, of course, there were many more: Terracotta Army, Evergreen, Living Forest, many more games which I'm excited about. But again, these are more closer to my heart of what I think I will love. But I would be eager to find out what games are you excited about, what games do you want to check out, and maybe did you find out any game that you hadn't heard about before, and you only got to find out about through this list? Leave that in the comment, and I will be happy to answer any questions if you have, or enjoy listening about your favorite games or most anticipated games that you are eagerly going to check out at Gen Con 2022. That's it for me. Happy gaming!